And now, please welcome Mike Aguilera.
Boom! Hey, welcome, everybody. Super excited to see you. If you're also excited, can you find the chat bar and can you type boom in the chat bar real quick? And those of you not on camera, hey, love to have you on camera. Love to have you on camera. We have so much to cover tonight. Hey, looks like John's coming in. My man Jim Clark, nice to see you. Amy, what's going on? Chris Livingston in the house. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. Who else we got here? Looks like Dave Dolick in here. Dave Monk, my man. Super excited to see you. Brendan, Anthony Foster, what's going on? Hey, everyone else, do me a favor, turn on your chat bar. It's always more fun for me to communicate to you than just a black box. I'm sure we'll have more people join us, but I would imagine anybody not here, it's because they're rolling in buckets of cash. We know that's not true. We know that's not true. It's okay if you're driving, just don't look at the camera, but it's okay. It's okay. What I'd like to know from you in the chat bar, if you're new to my world, can you just type in new? I don't know if any of you are new. After a decade plus of doing this, it seems like a lot of people that are on here, they've been in the world a long time. Mohammed is new, super nice to see you. Welcome, thanks for being here. I also see some of you, not only am I going to share today some really great information about how to win. If you like to win, can you type in win in the chat bar? We're going to go for an hour to 90 minutes. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As long as your ass is here and you're taking notes and engaging, I'm going to keep going, okay? If you're not engaging, well, then I'll end. And I'm on season 2 of Squid Games. Is anybody else watching that creepy show? No, just me? No, Tim? Tim's like, why the hell would you be watching Squid Games? Well, I'm fascinated by really weird stuff. So if we keep going here, I'll wait a little longer to watch Squid Games. I also see Maddie, we got a bunch of new authors in the house. Super nice to see all of you here. I'd love for you to stay to the end. I'm going to give you some different gifts along the way and resources and some tools. And I know that's going to be exciting for you guys. And I'm also going to give you a lot of stats. But why are we doing this cash flow factory anyway? At Food Dog here, we really want to do our very, very, very best to help remove suffering from people. And I feel there's a lot of business owners today who are struggling. And if you're a business owner, can you type in business in the chat bar if you're a business owner? And the game of business is changing really, really fast. And I feel like a lot of people are in our world because we're changing a little faster than the world is changing. And a lot of people are surrounded around people that are not changing as fast, which means the level that you're seeping to is probably a lower level than most people need to be today. And if you look at the speed of technology and everything that's happening today, do you think you can move slow or do you think you have to move faster? Tell me in the chat bar. I think you got to move faster. And any of you with young children that want to read the book, The Tortoise and the Hare, I would just throw that book out, okay? Because the turtle never beat the rabbit, okay? I know that because in my 54 years of life, I've seen a fair amount of turtles run over, but I have not seen a lot of rabbits run over. That means accurate speed. And can you write that down? Like accurate speed means I'm going to not run into a wall. I'm going to do what's very logical and strategic. And bear with me 1 minute. I got to lower this. No matter how low I put the heat, it's on 60 degrees. It still feels warm to me. And it could be I have this sweatshirt on here. If you are new, let me give you a couple pictures. And some of you are not new. So if you're tired of looking at these pictures, well, you know what? Just smile for my past. But I do think if you're new, you need a little bit of authority of why should you even consider listening to me? And a lot of what I'm going to share is not guesswork. It's based off of proven history. Okay. So here's one of the things that I did, which for some of you seems impressive to have 165 trucks and 200 employees and doing 32 million a year. I personally believe that's, and I don't mean to insult anybody. If you're a smaller company, my job's to make you become a decamillionaire someday or greater, which I have a track record. And I'm given authority, so I have to talk about myself. So if you don't like that, bear with it. But I believe I've created more decamillionaires in the last 4 years than anybody else, at least in the United States that I know of, that I've created education in awareness, skills, strategies, and tactics to help them win. But today, by the standards of building a company fast like this, even though you might find it a struggle, I don't find it a struggle today. Why? Because when I started, you had to do yellow pages. Anybody else, if you know yellow pages, can you type in yellow pages? Like you had to do newspaper. You were lucky you had a beeper. Do you know what a beeper is? Like a beeper is like a little thing you used to wear. Some of you are too young on here. You don't know what a beeper is. And if somebody needed you, pager, they beeped you and it buzzed and you had to find a payphone. Today, you could put these glasses on, which Maddie, don't hold me against it. I still don't know how to use them, but Morgan does. I could put these glasses on and I can post this on Facebook about my company at the speed of light, So we're in this fascinating world of speed and it's no longer difficult. I did also get a whole lot of learning, everybody, and lessons from coaching now well over 1,000 business owners. Okay. It's probably more like, well, I had over 20,000 people come through trainings that I did, sales training, operations training, a call center training, manager training, leadership training, and everything in between. It was well over 20,000 people. And I studied all of them to see what makes a person move fast and win and what keeps another person stuck. And today, if you haven't had a chance, and I'll tell you what, who's read the book Mind Power? Type in Mind Power in the chat bar. Team, can you get the link for them to get the free book, Mind Power? I'd like to give you the link because if you never read the book, you can get it. But I have also, I've written 28 books. So I'm going to gift you this one. It's a digital version. They'll give it to you. And it's a really great book. But you could, if you want to go online, I've written 28 books on leadership and business and decision making and communication and, how to do customer resolution. So if you're ever just looking for something to read, and I have a lot of newer books like Human Engineering and How to Recruit and Money Cure. Just go on if you're new in my world, and you'll find out that I have a whole bunch of books and I got a couple more coming out. So last thing that I'll give you for authority is not that I did over 500 million in my companies. It's really how I do business today that I want to share with you. with our portfolio of companies because we have ownership in a bunch of companies. And those of you that might have just joined, turn on your camera if you don't mind. It would be awesome. My team will remind you. And it's really what I'm doing today because there's a lot of experts out there. They did it 30 years ago, but they're not doing it today. And we have an organization. We have 17 team members in our organization. So we got full-time copywriters, full-time graphic designers, full-time technical people that work in software systems like Go High Level. We got full-time numbers analysts that work for us. We have sales teams, concierge, coaches, and trainers, and it goes on. So we are a full-blown company the way we run. All right. So let's dig in. Do you guys understand me? Can you put in yes in the chat bar? Do you get it? Like, and if that wasn't enough authority for you, then I would say just probably go now, because if you need more authority than that, there's probably something better for you to do tonight than to hang out with me and listen to what I have to say. I think when we look at cash flow, people would say that you have a problem with gaining cash flow. One school of theory would say you don't know how to manage cash, right? You would say, I'm smart, my sister's an idiot, she doesn't know how to do cash management. Someone else would say a cash flow problem is they don't know how to make money. Because if you, hey, Nick, nice to see you. If you had a money machine and you put $1 in and $10 came out, you would never have a problem. You would just keep putting dollars in the machine. I believe there's a bigger underlining problem for money. And I believe that you don't understand it only for the reason you've been programmed and you have maybe one of three things around money: shame, guilt, or traumas. And this is what I learned by watching some of the smartest broke humans. You guys tell me, I'm not going to call any of you, but do any of you know someone that's really intelligent and really broke? Tell me in the chat bar. Do you? Like, they're just brilliant. Like, they could answer anything. And probably some of you here. But the thing is, you have some kind of programming inside of you. And I'm going to share strategies tonight, and I'm going to give you some statistics, and it's going to be a lot of information. But I do want to let you know that if I was to share with you my secret sauce, who wants to know the secret sauce of how I've created more decamillionaires than anybody else I know? Type in secret sauce in the chat bar and I'll share it with you. And it is the secret sauce that I learned to take because I was known as Matt, I was known as one of the experts in what I would call the blue collar space. I used to run what they would call a best practice organization, which was called CEO Warrior. And a best practice organization is you take best tools, you give it to plumbers and electricians and HVAC guys, and they take these tools, and if they take the predictable tools, they're going to win a predictable result. But that, I found out, was, and excuse my language, a whole bunch of bullshit. That I could give the greatest tool in the world to 10 people, and only 20% of the 10 people will win. And so I'm going to get to the secret sauce. So I had to find out over a decade ago what creates winners from losers. Okay. And at first I thought, well, maybe it's the way the information's presented. And so I presented it different: visuals, video, kinesthetic, auditory. And I found out there was still only 20%. So then I said, well, maybe it's different tactics and strategies. And I want you guys writing notes. Can you, as you hear something that's triggering, or you're like, oh man, that makes sense, I want you to put it in the chat bar. You could either say the strategy, or you could just do boom, and I'll know I'm resonating with you. So then I do tactics and strategies, and I still only got 20% success. So then I started to say, well, I wonder what if that, because I've been doing human behavior stuff for over 30 years now, since I'm really 15, and I'm level 54 now, so you could do the math. I said, what if it is the way their mom, their parents, their grandparents taught them? What if it's a program? So the secret sauce was, I learned that if I can redo the program inside your mind, and I can change that program for you, then guess what? Everything else will be easy. So when they say 80% is psychology, you should write that down. And hell, who cares? It could be 70%. But let's just say the majority of success is psychology. And then the balance of the percentage is actually going to be the skill sets that you need. It's the skill sets you need. So the secret sauce is, all this information is useless with the same thinking that you had yesterday. Write this down, everybody. The thinking that got you to where you're at will not get you to where you want to go. Now, the thing is that some people actually get momentum and they start to win a little bit, which is, I would call, like, one of the death traps of success, is you actually taste some winning and you think you'll keep winning. So a company goes from 1 million to 5 million and they think they're a champion. But the reality is they've only got enough skills to get there. And then the next level of trauma and money blocks will show up. And even though you think, and I use this example all the time, even though that you feel that this does not affect you, that money doesn't grow on trees and money is dirty and money is evil, you think you parted with that belief system. The reality is, no. Unless you reprogrammed it, redefined it, it still runs inside your mind. And if it's inside your mind, it is your record player of your success. So I do want to let you know that that part, you have to find a way to deal with that, because the secret sauce is that every big training that I do, and every training I've done for the last decade and a half, and a lot of you I could see on here have been to them, has been, how do I collapse your old thinking? And if you don't, how many of you on here do some, or are any of you coaches of any kind? Type in coaches. We actually have a coach training coming up we're going to do in June. We're going to teach people how to build and scale coaching companies and become better coaches for a reason. Because if I could help people become better coaches, you'll change the world. The faster the world changes, the better for everybody. Otherwise, we're just a slave to the government, right? Anybody want to be a slave to the government? It's pretty much what's happening right now, right? And just type in where you live anyway, just so I could get, I'm always regulating how many countries we're in. I think we're in about 15 different countries now. And we want to go for over 120 countries of impact and over 120 million people. So you guys can see there's people from Portugal and Australia. And thank you everybody for joining. So let me give you real quick a statistic here. All right. Now, 82% of businesses say they have poor cash flow management. That's staggering, 82%. But if you were to be honest in the chat bar, how many of you just really disliked the math teacher? Or raise your hand, anybody, or just me? You just couldn't stand the math teacher, right? Okay. So me and Keith, yeah, I couldn't stand the math teacher. And math was not one of my, I wouldn't say it was my core skill set. I had to learn to understand it. And I'm still not a guru at numbers, but I'm a guru at critical thinking, which you might want to write down, critical thinking. And I'm an expert at asking really really defined good questions. And I want you to write that down as an action for you, is learn how to ask very defined questions. Because defined questions is, even if you asked, why don't I have more money than debt? And that question alone could make you peel back the onion. I think the other delusion that people have, and it's only in the small business minded world, is that this where people feel that they should build an organization and be debt free. Unless somebody on here knows somebody that I don't know, I don't know anybody that's built an empire without accumulating some form of debt along the way. You tell me in the chat bar, do you guys know anybody that built an empire, that built it and had no debt? I don't. The real situation is, it's what you process debt as. You process it as a problem. Now, let me save you from 2025. Can I type in 2025 if you want me to save you from 2025? I have a track record of saving people through COVID, pandemics, all kinds of things, and making them win on the other side. 2024, if you would rate 2024 as in business, super fun, super easy, horrible, hated it, disgusting, painful, discouraging, what word would you give 2024? I would give it, like, if you can imagine a very hardcore training. Like, I look at 2024 as you go to the gym, you gain muscles, but you're a little sore with it. 2025, I will share, I believe 2025 is a preparation year for 2026. You don't have to believe me. Jim Clark knows me a long time. I've created now over 90 people sold companies. I think probably almost 90% of them became decamillionaires, and 3 of those decamillionaires are broke right now. So even if you think you'll be wealthy, wealth without control is what's called broke ass start over again. And that's a sad day in paradise, everybody. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that in 2025, it's a year of skill sets, a year of management and foundation building. We labeled our January theme, and Megan, feel free to throw the picture in the chat bar. Our January theme is called rebar. Now, do you know what rebar is? Rebar is steel bars you put in concrete because you want to strengthen the foundation. And I feel January you should strengthen. Our yearly theme is domination, because I do believe you should dominate your operational processes, your financial processes, your sales processes. And those of you that create financial strength, you'll springboard in 2026. So I would say be optimistically cautious and scale through that cautiousness. Otherwise, you could have a little turbulence in it. Write this down. Businesses with cash flow systems, guess what? Businesses with cash flow systems, they grow 4 times faster than businesses without cash flow systems, right? I'm going to give you another quote. Even if you heard it before, you should write it down again. What gets measured improves. So write that down, and I'm going to find a diagram to show you something. What gets measured improves. What gets measured and reported improves exponentially. Improves exponentially. So when you put that down, you want to ask yourself, first off, why don't all of you, since we're friends now, why don't you rate yourself from 1 to 10? Why don't you put 10 is You're a cash management machine. It happens automatically. You have reporting. You don't panic and look at the bank. And one, you know you have a problem with cash management when the bank says you're in overdraft. And there's no judgments here. Guys, I'm not impressed if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you drive Lamborghinis, and like, I'm just not impressed. I'm not even impressed with my damn self. So just be as transparent as you can here. Let me find this diagram that Aaron, I may need you to send it to me, the Parthenon. I don't know what folder I have it in right now. If you have a picture of that for me, and just
Yeah, coming in a minute here. Yep, you bet.
So if you look at the ratings, most of you are here because you know that there's improvement to be had in this cash flow management. Now, I feel if you want to improve on these things, we have 3 models, and I want to share the 3 models. I wasn't going to share it, but I changed my mind based on, oh, Aaron, I think I have it here. Let me share 3 models with you guys. And I feel like you're going to find a lot of value in these 3 models. And the reason why I think you're going to find a lot of value in it is because it's going to solve some missing pieces. If you could see this model, can you give me a boom in the chat bar, please, so I know? Can you give me a boom? Ginger, and hang on, I got to tell my dog stop licking her paws. Hey, stop. 14-year-old dog. Anybody else got a 14-year-old dog? She can't hear. She can't see real good. Shouldn't know where she is, and she does bad things every day, like try to get in trouble. 14 years old. All right. So this is a very important model I want to share with you here. Why it's important, this is called our Parthenon. This Parthenon is very important because if you look at the bottom, legacy is built on a foundation. And I believe all of you eventually are going to want to build a legacy. Why? Because I don't feel any of us want to die someday and be like, what the hell what was life about, right? What did we exist for? Now, if you look at the top of the diagram, freedom's driven by personal growth. And how many of you know that the next level that you want to go to in life, business, and wealth is going to come at the other side of personal growth? Tell me in the chat bar, type in personal growth, right? Like, it's going to come at the other side of personal growth. The more you personally grow, the faster you're going to improve. And that's why we say life, business, and wealth by design. And I'm going to show you a model for that. I look at it that there's 7 powers that people are lacking today that's keeping them from cash flow and go to the next level. And I'll go left to right. It's not a sequential, you need this one now, but eventually you need to improve every one of these. Leadership power is if you have a culture that doesn't work and they're not thriving and they're not producing cash and you don't love your company, you probably have a leadership power problem. Marketing power, and just by the way, would any of you tell me, we have some trainings coming up. Should I mention them and we'll put the dates in the chat bar so at least you know about it? If you choose to come to it, it's fine. If you choose not to, that's fine too. We have a leadership power training coming up. Why? Because to help people, because I'm watching people now. I don't do big 500-person events, guys, because one, I don't believe they're super effective and people get lost in the crowd and then they leave. They're like, I had fun in Vegas. They drank a lot. They did some shit they shouldn't do. They go back to their family. They don't improve their life. So that's not what we do. We do exclusive events, roughly about 30 people in a private home, and the home is right around the corner from our house. That's what we do. And I'm finding it's the most effective way. And some people on here were just at a house. We just did 3 days. We made people authors from literally no book to a book and an author that's going to make them 10% more leads, 10% more conversion, 10% more authority. If you were there, type in what that event and house is like. So we do have a leadership 3-day training coming up where you could spend 3 days with me. Marketing, if there's a skill set that people are horrible at, they just don't understand marketing. And if they don't understand marketing, they're a slave to an agency. Now, I am giving you right now, and it's not I got all this I got to cover. Like, I got a lot to cover, guys. But if you don't have leadership skills, you won't have cash flow. If you don't have marketing skills enough to know how to manage an agency or manage your own marketing, you won't have cash flow. And we have a 3-day virtual training coming on where we're going to do 10 audits. And I'm going to teach you everything on marketing that nobody's ever taught you. And you could challenge me on that because I've been on stage with the top marketers in the world, and I've gained the respect of guys like Jay Abraham and Dean Jackson and some of my closest friends today. I'm holding nothing back. I will review your marketing, and I'm going to give you 10 audits to put in place. That's going to take what your marketing is doing now and hyper it. So if you want more cash, you need marketing. Now, business power, we got that training coming up in June. It's going to be 3 days where I'm going to teach you how to scale your business, do partnerships in business, everything in between in 3 days. But if you don't know how to run your business, you have a cash flow problem. Tell me which one of those 3 already you know that shit you need to get a lot better at. Tell me in the chat bar. I didn't know I was going to wake up one day and need to do these. I woke up one day and I keep seeing more people suffer, and I hate suffering of people. Why? Because I've been on my own since I'm 15. I know why I'm like I am is because when you're on your own and you suffer for a long time, you want to remove suffering from people. Look at any of the greats of the world. They all have a real rough time at one point. All right, so you got 3. Sales power. Okay, if you don't know how to deliver world-class service to somebody and communicate at a world-class level, well, you're going to have a cash flow problem because you don't know how to deliver massive value. And when I say sale, and we got it scheduled, we'll share the dates with you guys. We have a 3-day sales power training. It's only going to be for roughly 30 people. And I'm going to teach you now. Just remember, I am not a best practice organization. So if you're looking for best practice, like only stuff for auto mechanics or plumbers or electricians, I'm not that guy. I am what they call a force multiplier. A force multiplier means I can share a strategy and apply it. I think we're in over 40 different industries we help right now. We own companies in multiple industries. And so I understand how to put a sales tactic. I don't care if you're selling real estate. I don't care what you're doing. But if you do need, after you're here, you're like, hey, I need a best practice organization. I have them. If you're like, hey, I want somebody to partner with and help scale and grow, I got friends on here. Jim Clark's on here. You can meet him. He helps companies scale and grow and go to an exit. We do some partnerships too, but we don't do what he does. But the fact is, you need the skill set. If you know you need the skill set of sales, type in sales in the chat bar. I'm not talking this manipulation shit you see out there and this trying to strong arm people. That's a good way for Channel 7 News. Now, life power is, look, if I'm working at Beating It now, if you watch my social media, it's going to be pretty tough to make cash if you're fatigued. True or true? Tell me in the chat bar. Is that true? Now I'm beating my age by 5 years. My blood test says I'm beating it by 5 years now. I'm happy. I want to beat it by a decade. But if you're lacking life power, means you got to go to bed early, you get up late, you feel stress and fatigue, you cannot make buckets of cash. Is this resonating? Can you type in resonate in the chat bar? Now, wealth power, we don't have a life power training. We'll do that second half of the year. We don't have a wealth power scheduled yet. But wealth power is, if you don't understand the dynamics of wealth, how it's created, the vibration. I'm not talking about Bitcoin and stuff, guys. I'm talking about the theory of scaling things and knowing how to see wealth in everything. It's not foo-foo stuff. It's tactical and strategic. So we have wealth power. And then the last one, relationship power. We have a 2-day relationship event coming up. We actually have 2 different dates. If anybody's coming to Relationship Power, tell me in the chat bar, where we're going to work with couples over 2 days. We're not therapists. You're not coming to us because you're ready to kill each other. You would come to the event because you want to create an alignment in your relationship. It's in person, Dave. Yeah, guys, leadership's in person, marketing's virtual, business power in person, sales power in person, and relationship power in person. 2 days. And so if you know there's another level, now I'm with my beautiful wife. She's probably off camera. She's under the weather right now. I've been with her over 39 years, and we invest in relationship training ourselves all the time. You know why? The day we think there's no more room to grow, we're going to start to what? Tell me in the chat bar. It's going to start to unwind. So that's relationship power. So as we move forward, and if any of you want to talk to me because you're not even sure what's a fit, because we have all kinds, not only do we have these trainings, why? Well, to help your life move forward, to get you to financial freedom, to create legacy, we have these trainings and we have all the dates, and we could give that to you. And if you don't know which one should be first, the chicken or the egg, I promise you, I'll guide you to what to do. And I'm not going to guide you where you don't need to go. At this stage, doing over 500 million in sales, selling 2 companies that were high 8 figures. I don't need someone's last dollar. If it's not going to help you, don't come to it. And I'm your guide on that. Okay. A couple other things, just because I'd like to help some of you. We also have on-sites we do. So if any of you are in our world, wants to come out to your company for 2 days, or you need a specialty training, you need us to train your manager to show them how to be better, you just ask us. We have a whole division of services today. So as you look at the Parthenon, and I'm going to take this down because I got to show you the next one. Tell me, what is the most enlightening thought that you just had? What's the most enlightening thought? What are you thinking? Marketing? Yeah. And just so you guys know, we could share this with you later if you want. Anybody else? What's the biggest power you need? We have this right here, and we can share it with you later, which is the dates of all our trainings. Now, some of them, can we put the events tab in the chat bar, please? We have an events tab you could look at. The reason why I sailed, oh, look, you're not even going to see this. Ready? You're not even going to see it on the events tab yet. Look, SOP power, standard operating procedures. We're going to do a 1-day virtual, and I'm going to teach you everything the E-Myth never taught you. And even though you read the book 3 times and your company still can't run by itself, we're going to teach that to you. So all of these are not on the new events page yet, but we'll keep uploading it. And I want to show that to you because there's some free bonuses. I'd love for you to grab it because they're going to drop off soon. All right, here we go. The link's in the chat bar. Click it and save it for later. When you go in there, guys, look, you see this here? Watch for free. 7 powerful strategies. Some of you might have missed that and missed this one. Go get those tonight, because after this training's done, we're going to put it here and the 7 power is going to drop off. You guys are on Cash Flow Factory, and look, Author Power's done. That's going to be coming off. Oh, okay. All right, I forgot. One big thing that's going to help you with cash flow real fast. Ready? You see this right here? Boardroom Day. All right, that's this Friday. Is anybody on here coming to it? Type in boardroom if you're coming. Oh, Judy's coming. A bunch of you are coming. This Friday, 30 people at the house right over here. Nick's coming at the house over here. I'm hosting a 1-day. Okay. Tim, Chris, all of you guys. I think there's 5 more spots left. If you want to come out, Keith, long as you're willing to come to New Jersey, it's free. Doors open 9:30. It ends at 6. And oh, hey, Adam, you're coming. And guess, John, I heard maybe you were coming. I don't know. If you come, doors open 9:30. We're going to 6. Lunch is on me, old school Italian. It will cost you nothing. I'm going to tackle your biggest questions. Why am I doing it? Food Dog Group will be known as an organization that serves more people on the planet than anybody else in the world. That's what we want to do. So part of that is we still have the house for the rest of the month. I want to hang out with cool people. Now, I do make a reminder for all of you to know. There's no drugs, no alcohol. You don't have to show me your 6-pack. Don't drive your fancy car because the salt water is going to eat the shit out of it. And no egos, because I don't do drama and I'm not impressed with anybody. Okay? All right. If you're interested in Boardroom, Megan, can you say hello in the chat bar? Raise your hand. Megan, everybody, that's Megan. You could talk to her in private chat if you want to come to Boardroom. Just let us know. All right, I got to get into strategies here. Cash. Let's talk a little bit. And was that helpful? Can you type in helpful? Type in helpful. Cash flow. Here we go. Let me get this diagram. I'm going to do a little drawing for you guys. So first thing about cash flow, I'm going to break it into categories for you guys, is this right here. All right, so draw a diagram with a bunch of circles. Go ahead. Let's do a little Bob Ross here. You know Bob Ross? Isn't that who it was? We'll just put a little tree, right? And he just like hits his brush and the damn seagulls on the painting. So let's do a little bit of that together. Now, marketing is a really fast way to get cash flow, and marketing used to cost a lot, but it doesn't cost. And Aaron, remind me, I want to go back and make sure I do the other 2 diagrams too. So I'm going to do a little marketing stuff, guys. Then I have to do this Powers model and this Pinnacles model, because you just won't get cash flow if you don't get these things. Now, in this, I'm going to give you the big bucket pieces of marketing that I feel create cash instantly. One of the first things is copy. Okay? Copy. If you were to rate copy, which is called copywriting, it's magic in words. 10 being a master, you write some words and people just consume it. And 1 being you can't even write and barely can spell. How do you rate yourselves on copy? I will share with you, ChatGPT is not your copywriter. That's like 3rd grade. Now, if you do choose to do it during the 3-day marketing training, okay? And if any of you want any of the trainings we're doing, I'll tell you what, Megan, put how they can reach out to you. If you guys reach out to Megan and you tell her, hey, I want the marketing training or the SOP training or sales training, if you invest in any of the trainings in the next week or so, I'll give you a discount on it because you're here. I don't need to do it, but if you're investing time to learn and you want to learn copy, I'll make sure that I help you out some on it. Not that some of you, I know you don't need a discount, but you take the money you save, you give it to a charity. Okay. So the first thing is copy creates cash. If you're not a master at copy, you have to come to, you got to come to the marketing. You should really consider it. The next part of marketing that you have to understand is this human behavior. Marketing is emotionally moving people from where they're at to where you want them to go. And you tell me in the chat bar, are humans changing? What do you think? Do you think people are behaving different now than before COVID? I would say drastically, probably 100% change. And I bet some of you changed. I bet some of you, my guess is that if you owned a house, I bet during COVID it was too small and maybe you got a bigger house, right? So everything changed on how you communicate and how you live life. So if you don't understand human behavior and how people changed and how your avatar changed, avatar being perfect client, and you don't understand how their language patterns changed and you don't understand how the buying patterns changed, and you don't understand how the geographic, then you know nothing about marketing at all. Nothing about marketing. The next thing that we have is on marketing that's a big piece is brand authority. Brand authority. These are, I'm not teaching you marketing right now. I'm teaching you cash flow. You just have not connected the dots that really good marketing, free, organic, can create massive cash quickly. You just don't know how to do it yet. But brand authority means the brand is not, for some of you, it's not a truck, it's not a logo, it's not a color. It is a reputation, okay? It's a voice in the market. So that's another way, the more brand authority. Well, watch this, Chris. Ready? You guys take a guess, like if you were to guess how many emails or Facebook post or LinkedIn post or TikTok, how many messages do you see from me and from Food Dog a day? Tell me in the chat bar. I always humor myself here. Let's see what you guys say. None. Uh-oh, Paula must be new. Target. Let's get Paula targeted. Okay. 10, 5. So I was at a thing one time, Keith, and someone said to me, man, you market too much. I said, take me off your list. I said, how's business going? They said, horrible. You know what I said, Chris? Market more. I said, market more. People have a choice to take you off. But there's one more here that I'm going to put right in the middle, if it's okay with you. And in the middle, I'm going to put what's called personal authority. Personal authority is you. It's your authority, your personal brand authority. I want you to write this down and seriously write it. Knowledge is going to be useless. Every one of you smart people on here, okay? And I'm sure you're all brilliant at what you do. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be pretty much useless in the next 5 years. So your question is, Mike, I don't understand why. Well, because AI is becoming so smart and intelligent that I don't need you no more, because I'm going to have a supercomputer that is going to be way more accurate than you. So you're like, okay, Mike, what do I do with that? How does that help me make cash flow? Well, it's part 2 of what I'm going to say. Wisdom. Wisdom is the money maker. Wisdom. Okay. Knowledge going to be useless. Wisdom is, see, knowledge is information and wisdom is a proven track record. Do you get that? Wisdom is a proven track record, and your personal authority has to be built with that wisdom, or you're going to be pretty much disappear in the world someday. I was impressed, and you guys tell me if you were impressed. Let me take this down because I'm going to show you this other diagram I want to show you. I took my, check this out, Nick. I took my blood test the other day, okay? And my blood test from the blood place, we use a place called the Inside Tracker. If any of you ever want to do Inside Tracker, let me know. We have a coupon code for you. It's like 25% off, I think. And Inside Tracker, what they do is they analyze, I don't know, 40 or 50 points of your blood. So Keith, I take this blood stuff, this report, and I upload it into ChatGPT. And I say, can you read it? And it says yes. I then, Amy, check this out. I upload all my vitamins I take. Vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin B, all these things I take on a regular basis. I upload it in the computer. I then tell it, you ready for this, Nick? I tell the computer, I want you to optimize everything you see. Tell me what to take morning, noon, and night, and what I should add in to optimize longevity. And guess what happens? The damn thing, John, gives me the whole thing. Well, take an extra vitamin C at night, take a vitamin D extra in the morning, add berberine or whatever. I want you to add curcumin and turmeric once. And this is what I want you to do, this protocol. The machine does that. Now, I don't trust the machine yet. I'm going to give it to my nutritionist and say, tell me it sucks or tell me it's good. That's knowledge. And you got this vehicle that has it. Wisdom says, hang on a minute. The computer doesn't know if you put these two together, one neutralizes the other because it doesn't have wisdom. Okay, is that tracking? Type in tracking if this makes sense, guys. I'm giving you what we're doing today, okay? Not what we did years ago. All right, let me show you this next diagram because I feel it's really important for some of you. This diagram here is what we call the pinnacles. Why is this important, the pinnacles? Because you have 3 wheels. You might only have 2, but you might want the 3rd one. We all have a life wheel. And a life wheel has 10 different pieces of the wheel. Now, I'm not going to go into every intricate piece of the wheel right now, but I'm going to tell you there's 10 parts of it. Now, the better your life wheel is, the better it starts to climb up the mountain to where you want to go. Now, if your business wheel is, you now have a business wheel. If your business wheel has no tread, no money, and no traction, tell me in the chat bar, what does it do to your life wheel? Does it make it move faster or slower? It pulls it down. But when you have your life wheel going, it's actually counterintuitive, John. People tell me, I ask them a question. How's business? Not where it is. It's stressful. People, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. How's the life wheel? And they go, me and my wife are at it. This isn't working. I go, okay. I'm just going to tell you, you think marketing and better people are going to solve the business. It's not. We got to optimize that life wheel so fast. They don't understand it at first, but when I say to them, like, if I get your relationship aligned, well, then your wife's not saying, what time are you going to get home, which is going to help you optimize the business wheel, or husband. It could be reversed. So we need the life wheel to be thick tread, moving up the mountain. We need the business wheel optimized. That will pull you up the mountain. And then we get the wealth wheel optimized. And guess what? Now you have like a tank of wheels pulling you up the mountain. And this is what I've done now over a decade, except I always tell everybody in my world, you know, I'm transparent and truthful. The part that was missing for me is I used to only focus in the middle with a lot of people for a long time. So I made people really rich and fat and sick. I made people really rich and divorced. And then I made them really rich. And Keith, they didn't understand how to do wealth. And I made them rich. And now they're back to broke again. So that was a little upsetting, that reality, which came to me. What do we need to do? We need to have the pinnacles, and we need to create life, business, wealth by design. I promise you, when you put these things in place by design, you're going to create financial freedom and the life you desire. I know, because I live that myself, and I've done it for a lot of people. Now, here's the last piece that I want you to know about cash and cash flow. First off, type in the chat bar, what is something you heard that is really helpful? Go ahead, type in the chat bar. What did you hear tonight that you're like, okay, I needed to hear that. I needed to hear it like that. I need to focus, maybe focus on the life wheel, business wheel. I need to focus on marketing or sales, or what is it? Everything. Okay, I'll take everything. And that's good, because if it is everything, at least you know you're starting to see a plan. And if you start to see a plan, there's hope, right? And that's what you want. But I don't want you to sit there and pray for hope, right? You guys know the story. I'll give you the really short version because time's going fast. I always love the story. The guy falls off the boat and he's floating in the ocean. You guys know this story. And Kevin, so this boat comes by and the guy's in the water and the boat goes, "Hey man, you want me to pull you up on the boat?" And guy's like, "No, no, no, I'm good. I'm good. God's going to take care of me." So the boat goes, okay, drives by. Then a helicopter, right? Art, the helicopter comes by. "Hey man, you need me to send you a line down, pick you up?" He's like, "No, no, no, I'm good. God's got me." All of a sudden, a darn raft comes by, a raft. He could just grab on the raft. He pushes the raft away and says, "I don't need you. God's got me." And then he drowns. Can you imagine, Chris? He drowns. He goes up to heaven and he says, "God, I don't understand. How did you let me drown?" Now, this is going to be my language, not God. So you pray for me later. He's like, "Are you effing kidding me? I sent you a helicopter, a boat. I damn near put a raft next to you and you pushed it away. You needed to drown," right? So what's the moral of the story? Tell me in the chat bar. Sometimes exactly what you need is sitting right in front of you. You're just not willing to grab on. You're waiting. And I don't believe there's anybody coming to save anybody except you are going to save yourselves. Write this down. The day you become your own economy, you'll never rely on the economy again. The day you become your own economy, you'll never rely on the economy again. Now, who's read the book? Raise your hand if you read the book, Who Moved My Cheese? Who's read it? Okay. Who's never read the book, Who Moved My Cheese? Raise your hand. Never read it. Okay. Write it down. It's a good book. All of you should read it. It's made me a fortune of money when, I'll tell you what, it made me money when I didn't understand it. Here's the thing about Who Moved My Cheese I want to share with you, that the book, Brian, I'm not sure the book said it. See, the book said the cheese moves, and if you stay where the cheese was and you run out of cheese and you don't move to where the cheese is, you're going to die. You know who never dies? Let me tell you, and you write it down. The cheesemaker. The cheesemaker never dies. He just keeps making more cheese, right? They don't tell you that in the story there. Okay, let me give you the last model, and then I want to go and talk about recurring revenue models. Recurring revenue models, okay? So look at this model and tell me, type in model in the chat bar if the models are helpful. Like, are you seeing it as a fundamental vehicle? All right, so here we go, everybody. Write this down, okay? Everything is energy. Energy is everything. Write it down. Everything is energy. Energy is everything. And if you don't understand energy, then you're missing out that everything in the world's a vibration. And that's why energy is in the middle of this diagram. You gotta go lay down. Go lay down. Don't make me drive over here because I can't do anything with you right now. All right. So in here, if you look at this, the first thing is mind power. You see mind power over here? Mind power. Now, mind power is built of three different things. It's built of your subconscious mind. It's built of your conscious mind. And it's built of your superconscious mind. Okay. Now, your subconscious mind, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's everything that ever happened to you in life, good, bad, or indifferent. And that's running part of your, life. Your conscious mind is you listening to me. So remember we talked about money doesn't grow on trees? That might be in your subconscious mind. But your conscious mind says, I like Mike, but I don't know if I like his tattoos. I like him, but he's a little loud. I don't know if I trust him. I don't know if you trust yourself, right? The superconscious is everything's happening around you. It's the things you don't understand. Now, that's why we wrote the book Mind Power. We gave it to you tonight so you can read it again. Now, the second part down the bottom here, this is skill power. Okay. So Christine, skill power is you need training, coaching, and managing. So when people tell me they're struggling, I say, well, have you been trained? They go, yeah. Okay, but have you been managed to execute on the training? No. They call that accountability. Accountability, write this down. Accountability is only needed when there's not enough leverage. Do you got it? Accountability is only needed when there's not enough leverage. You should type in boom in the chat bar for that. Because if you have leverage, you'll just get the stuff you need done, right? If you were starving today, you have a choice. You could starve, or you could grab a spear and go hunt something. There will be leverage. You know, if you don't eat soon, you'll die. Okay. So you need training, coaching, and managing, right? We're helping manage you here. Type in boom, write this down. We're coaching you. Consider doing this. We're training you. We're giving you skill sets. All of you that have a company, you better master this diagram right here. Matter of fact, the Parthenon too. Tell me this. Ready, everybody? Who has employees? Type in employees in the chat bar. Who has team? And then after you write it, when your employee's life spirals out of control, your technician expert's life is out of control, what kind of employee is he now? Huh? Right? If your employee doesn't know how to lead himself, how's he doing for your company? You don't have to answer. I already know the answer. I had 200 employees. Okay. The last part is action power. Now, action power means to take action on what I'm saying. You need clarity, alignment, and accountability. Am I creating, type in clarity in the chat bar if I'm creating clarity on the solution to get you more cash. I gave you the Parthenon model, right? I gave you the Pinnacle model. I'm giving you the Powers model, right? We talked about the parts of marketing you need, the copy, the branding. I'm giving you clarity, and I'm also inviting you that if you want to win marketing more, you should consider the training. It is by application, so we give you a form to fill out because I got to make sure if you're going to pay for something and not do it, I'd rather you not do it. Alignment. Am I creating alignment? Type in alignment if I'm creating alignment on how to go from where you're at to where you want to go. And then there's accountability. Accountability is leverage. Guys, if you want to help your children, yourself, your future, your elderly parents, well, then you need to win more. Someone said to me one time, they thought they were being a little spicy with me. Let me unshare this. And you know what they said to me? They said, you know, Mike, there's more to the world than just money. Can you believe that's what they said, Andrea? You know, there's more than money. I said this, perfectly well said from a broke ass individual. Like, yeah, it may not be anything, but everything, but man, it helps with almost everything. You need a new heart, a lung, a leg. You could either beg and do GoFundMe, or you could have money and fund yourself. I'd rather fund myself. What do you guys think? Tell me in the chat bar. All right, I want to give you another diagram here. Ready for this diagram? Because you guys are playing full out, I didn't think I was going to draw this diagram, but I'm going to draw it. And will you stay a little longer? You guys tell me a little chat bar. Can we go just a little bit longer or what? Let me grab this. If you'll stay a little longer, I'll go through these couple more. So some of you, I think it's probably early in the day. You don't care. It's 9:37 here. Oh, it's 8:37. Yeah. Draw this with me. Ready? 2 circles. Draw an archway. Let's put some lines on the archway. All right. Really simple. This is where you're at. This is where you want to go. Okay? You know where you're at. Some of you are not being, don't worry about this diagram. I'll get to that one next. Yeah, I'll get to that next. Some of you are not being honest where you're at. You try to make it sound good. Oh, we're not too bad. I'm kind of happy. Like, just be real. I'm happy. I'm not. My relationship is a level 10 or it's not. I have money that I need or I don't. Then you got to get real clear where you want to go. Some of you, how many of you, raise your hand if you want to make more money? Raise your hand. All right, a lot of hands went up. Okay, so Christine, if I give you $1, you're done. You can leave. No. You don't want to make $1, do you? You want to be clear. I want to make $1 million more dollars. So a lot of people are, she says, okay, millions good. Okay. A lot of people are not being clear because you don't believe it's possible. And when I was 15 years old and on my own, I didn't know what was possible either until I scaled one of the largest service companies, sold it, one of the largest coaching organizations and sold it, and scaling portfolio companies. I didn't know what was possible too. But there's one line that we talked about a little bit. Now, these you got to do. First off, these are actions. Okay, you need to do actions. If you don't do nothing different, you're not going to go nowhere different. But it's this line that no one talks about. Now, this is a gap analysis, they call this. It's a traditional gap analysis. This line pointing this way, Chris, you know what that's called? That's the resistance line. That's everything that has held you back that you have not addressed in life. And the resistance line is everything on the Parthenon diagram. If you don't understand marketing well, you have a resistant line. If you don't understand leadership well, you can't hire good. You can't manage a team good. So that's a resistant line. If you don't know the art of communication and sales, it's a resistance line. If your relationship's not aligned, one of you wants to build an empire and your partner just like, hey, why can't we just live in a cardboard box? You have a resistance line. This is everything that's keeping you back. It's also all the solutions we built for you to extend to you was to destroy the resistant line and move you forward. Is Jason still on here or did Jason go to bed? Jason, unmute yourself real quick. Jason, you only been in my world for
3 months.
How 3 months? Okay. If you were to tell people, and I wasn't going to do this, guys, but I knew Jason's here. He just wrote a book. Tell people, if you were to give them a how fast, how far, how quick in 3 months, what would you explain people how quick things can change when you're getting this type of information?
If you apply it, you'll move fast.
How fast are you moving?
Light years. Like I told somebody the other day, we need to order spacesuits because we're going high.
Yeah. And in the 3 months, you tell me, would it be fair to say in 3 months, you've learned more than the last 30 years?
For sure.
Yeah. And how was the experience at this house the last 3 days you were just at?
Overcoming my limiting beliefs to be able to write a book, well, it's phenomenal. I mean, just mind-blowing.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's give him a fist bump, everyone. 3, 2, 1, boom. Thank you, Jason. So if you go back to the diagram, guys, this is to get rid of the resistance. We want to get the training, the coaching, and the managing will help you get through the resistance. All right, let's draw this diagram. I got 2 more before I let you go. Okay, 2 more. Now, this one here is, how many of you have a some kind of recurring revenue model? That's like an Amazon. People pay monthly for a subscription. You have a membership program. Okay. Type in if you have one. Okay. Now I want you to rate it. 10 being you make money while you sleep and you never even thought life could be that way. And 1 being you have it, but you're just really horrible at it. Rate yourself right now. Okay. Jim's got a 10. Andrew, Brendan. Okay. So you can see the numbers where they're at. When you look at this, there's a couple pieces to this model. One of them is you need an execution strategy. So write that down. You need an execution strategy. Okay? That means you need to know how to get that recurring model in the hands of the people. And just so you know, every one of you should want some kind of recurring revenue inside your organization because it creates predictability and reliability. And we will be, in the next decade, we will be a membership culture. Just like you buy a car and they say, how much can you afford? There's going to be companies coming out. They're going to say, Christine, how much can you afford a month? And she says, 2,000. And they'll say, okay, pick your food, pick your car, pick your house, pick your insurance. What size yard do you want? What kind of internet do you want? And they're going to build your life into a membership program. That's what the world's going to be like, just so you know. So you're either going to get on board with that or you're going to fall behind on it. The next thing about recurring revenue is you want to know not what people need now. You want to know what they're going to need in the future. Okay? When you know what they're going to need in the immediate future, not the extended future. The extended future is we're going to need spacesuits because we're going to be interstellar living. Do any of you deny? Most of us, I see, most of us look like we're going to still be around when there's interstellar living. Someone's going to live on Mars. Do you guys agree? Or you could type in nuts if you think I'm nuts. But we're going to be interstellar living. So planning for spacesuits right now may be too far. But when you're looking at recurring revenue, if you say to yourself, well, hang on a minute, I'll use Jason. He's like, people are going to need this plumbing for a long time. The plumbing infrastructure is not going to change anytime overnight. It's not going to be like you'll crap in a toilet and it can bust into invisible particles. Might be cool, but I don't think that's happening right now. So he wants to turn around and he wants to say to himself, what's the program that they're still going to need now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now? And how does that program follow them no matter where they go in the world? So even if they sell this house, they buy a house in Florida or another state, he finds someone that services that program there, and he's still making money on this subscription model forever. And just so you know, you tell me in the chat bar if you know subscription models, higher multiple or lower multiple. If you don't know what a multiple is, it's if the company is worth something, a times multiple says the amount someone's going to pay you for it. It's a higher multiple. So I'm hoping all of you are seeing right now why you need to create these recurring models. So one, we got to have the strategy. Two, we got to know the future. And then three, we want to know how many models you could put in place. How many recurring models? You want to have more than one because anything of one is dangerous, and you should write that down. I think Dan Kennedy might have taught me that anything of one is dangerous. Why? Well, because if it goes away or it doesn't work, it collapses itself. So you want to have a couple different models. Now, it could be a couple level of models. Yeah, I love American Express, even though they make me go through that automated message, which I can't quite understand why they do that after 37 years to me. But what do they have? I had the black card. That's a model of what? That's called a model for the affluent. But then you have a platinum, and then you have a gold, and then you have a rose color card and a blue card, right? These are different levels of models. So you want to ask yourself, how many models can you put? How many different levels make sense for that? All right, tell me in the chat bar what's tracking for you. We're going to get ready to land this plane right here. I'm going to give you the last thing that's going to make this recurring model super simple. Survey them. Survey them. The thing that's made me a ton of money, everybody, is asking clients a question. Ready? Who wants the question I asked? Tell me in the chat bar. You want the question that's it? I hope this free cash flow training makes you a bunch of money, because I'll be very happy. Plus, you make a lot of money. You're going to keep coming. We're going to help you. You're going to refer people. Everybody, it's a win-win-win, right? Okay, here's the question. If there was something we can offer you that we don't already offer, what would it be? If there was something that we could offer you that we don't already offer, what would it be? And I want someone to say, I wish you did accounting. I wish you did. Somebody said to us, I wish you would do on-sites. Well, first off, I'm really good at them. I've done them for a long time. If I go to a company for 1 day or 2 days, I'll move that company faster than anybody else on the planet. And I'm willing to go on stage and challenge anybody to see if that's possible too, because I have a decade of doing this stuff, over a decade, but a decade of proven working over thousands and thousands of people. So if you survey it, they then say, I wish you'd do this. We have other people say, I wish you would do marketing, strategic marketing, build a direct mail campaign, build a billboard campaign. We don't do SEO and pay-per-click. We have preferred and certified partners for that are incredible, but we do strategy, right? So that's how we do it. What did they say this year? They said, I want you to teach me marketing. I want to understand everything to know, so I'm not a slave to an agency. What did we do? We built a 3-day marketing class. A lot of you guys are attending it. All right, last diagram, guys. We'll finish this up. It's 9:50 for me, so I got to finish this bad boy. And yeah. So this year, this is leadership to boost cash flow. Leadership lacks alignment with cash flow. See, if your people, if you're here because you're not a master at cash flow, your people are going to be way less educated or knowledgeable or believe in it than you. Can you see the problem here? Type in problem if you understand the problem. If you have a cash problem, it means you don't know how to deliver to them that they have a cash problem. And I bet a lot of your employees, do any of you pay some of your team members so well you just cannot fathom how they're broke? Tell me in the chat bar. Right? The question, Dave, is if there was something that we could offer or be doing for you that we don't, what would you want us to do, right? So the next part is you have to improve cash flow and profitability. You got to build this bridge over it, which means if you don't handle, all right, another secret sauce. Ready, Kevin? Here comes the secret sauce. Number 2 secret sauce tonight. How have I moved 200 employees to create a $32 million plus company, double-digit profit with a culture, like I would put it, close to Disney or Zappos? You have to be skilled at helping remove the shame, guilt, and cash traumas from your employees. So if you're not skilled on mindset shifting to create mind growth in your employees, the only other thing you have on the other side is chaos. You don't have certainty, right? The opposite side of certainty is chaos. How many of you would actually admit you have a little chaos inside your company? Tell me in the chat bar. Do some of you, will you admit that you have a little bit of chaos inside your company? All right. So let's do a little recap here, guys. We covered a lot of ground, but if you want to boost cash flow, the leader needs to understand it. He has to have the skill to maximize the thinking of the people. So if you guys would like to attend any trainings, you just hit up Megan, type in TMAT, send a message and say, hey, I'd love to attend trainings. If you don't know what trainings to attend based on where you're at life or business, feel free to tag me personally and I'll get on a quick call with you. We could text message or something. I'll get you lined in. And the most immediate one for you guys is I'll just tell you, like, if you could make it to Friday, which is boardroom for free, a whole day of training for free. I can't promise I'm ever doing this again, guys. I'm going to cover food, cover everything, notebooks, strategic worksheets. I think I printed out a profit sheet for you guys that's going to maximize profit for you, unlike anything you imagine. I think it's crazy. If you could come, there's 5 spots left. I'm not going to try to sell you on it because it's damn near free and I'm feeding you. But I would say if you can make it, you know, they pay me $35,000 an hour to speak these days. I think it's a no-brainer for you to come. So, hey, it's been my honor to serve you. If you got massive value, can you tell me in the chat bar, please? Also give a little love to my team because my team's all over the world. And there's here. Some of you are begging your team to work. And I got my team on here at 10 o'clock at night tonight serving all of you. So, hey, everybody, hopefully, I know Nick, I'll see you Friday. Andrew, I'm going to see you Friday. Anybody else, let me know. Otherwise, go make some cash. Boom. Have a good night, guys.